250. He had done a little video the other day on a fishing contraption that he had built out of PVC and using what we call a yo-yo. And this is on the same line as jug fishing. I know you've seen these probably before. You tie a line on it and hook a hook and a bait, and the fish will bite it. And the only problem we got around here is we have a river and the water flows, as you can see by my little drawing. And don't make fun of my drawing if you would, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, the problem we have with the river, it's not real swift, but with the river is you got to float along with your jugs and have to keep bringing them back up. And I had found this about 2 years ago on the internet, and I wish I could take credit for this contraption, but I cannot. But it's very inexpensive, very safe, easy to keep up with, and you can put about 20, 25, maybe even more into a plastic milk crate. And it's similar to a jug. It's not a jug by any means. It's a piece of PVC pipe. Right here on the end you'll see there's a 1-inch cap, and then wrapped around the pipe is some foam insulation. This stuff you can get at any of your hardware stores that goes on pipe. You've probably seen it. There it is. The only reason why mine's white on the outside is I wrapped it with white duct tape to make it more visual so I could see it at night. And then it's a good place to hook your hook. That way you won't get one in your finger. And this hook I'll talk about here in just a minute. Here's the weights. Now you don't have to go as elaborate as I did on these. I don't remember why I did this for, but I made it with a little swivel hook so I could just keep adding weight to the swiftness of the water. It's got a little, I think that's like 25-pound test line with the hook on it, and then the other end has the black, what we call trot line staging that goes up to the little device that floats. This hook is really unique. This hook is made to where it is self-setting, because these things are going to be in the water. You're not going to be able to set the hook. This is the bait that I usually use. We call them rice slicks around here. They're not very big, and then we also use crawfish. They really like the crawfish. And what's neat about it is you can find both of these in our area in road ditches, and that's what makes the fish so good. It's so tough that it will live a long time on the hook. This is back to the floating jug principle I'm talking about, with the water flow and it moves down river. And the other device is a little different. You'll see here, you actually put it on bottom, and you use a weight, as you can see the one there on the right. You use a weight, and once the fish grabs it, it will stand up on end. But you notice the line's slack right there after the fish gets a hold of it? Well, I'm going to show you how this works. It's a kind of a flagging process. The cord, the line, this is what I call the staging. There's probably, there may be 20 feet on here. That's not necessary around here. Most of the water around here is going to be 8, 9, 10 feet. But what I do is I drop it off the side of the boat, drop the weights, let out enough to hit bottom, maybe add a foot or two, just kind of flip it around just like I did just then with the loop, and pull it tight, and then it kind of locks it on there, and it'll stay, and then it gets to, it'll just float on top of the water. The piece of foam, of course, on the right end there is what causes it to float, but the secret is on the inside there's a weight, and you can kind of tell it as I tilted it back and forth. You make sure the weight's to the right, so when it floats, it'll float that way. And then when the fish starts pulling a little bit, all it does is just the weight will slide down, and that thing will stand straight up. And it doesn't go underwater unless it gets out into water that's deeper than the line you got. But that much is sticking up, and you can use a flashlight from the bank, sit back and watch them, have a blast with the kids. The kids can handle them really well, and I'll show you what I mean. That when you get a fish on and the kids grab the thing up, you can get a hold of it with both hands, or even if it's a big fish, you can get a hold with both hands, and you can wind it as you go to get the fish in. You can once you get it wound up, and you're done for the night and don't want to rebait it or whatever, you just kind of twist everything up and then take the hook and stick the hook right back into that piece of foam, and then throw it in your plastic milk crate or cooler, whatever you got, a bucket, 5-gallon bucket, and you notice I can grab it. No, it won't stick you or anything like that. It's pretty unique. They're lengthwise, I can't remember all the measurements, and I would show you. Oh yeah, and by the way, on the inside of this thing, I put a piece of rebar. It was a short piece of rebar, and it was about 8 inches long. And as you can tell, that's a 12-inch square. Those things are about 15 inches long total. Just remember that you got to put the weight in there before you glue the caps shut on the ends. And I hope this might be helpful to you guys. And thanks so much for watching.